Welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 548, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan, joined by Jack. Not the typical weekend crew because Brian's Wi-Fi exploded. I know how he feels the way the last couple of weeks have gone. But Jack, how you doing today, man?
Doing good. I'm looking forward to when the Wilson Contreras moonshots get added to the intro.
Yes, definitely. And that will happen once my actual laptop that has Premiere and Photoshop gets rectified, because I don't know if I should, because of how the brief Riverside era went, I don't know if I should run away and go grab my computer so I can show the camera how fucked my laptop is. It's messed up. Actually, you know what? I took a picture of it. So unfortunately for those listening, you won't get to see it. But this is the state of my my laptop that has Premiere Pro and
That's not what it's supposed to look like.
Photoshop. Yeah. But you know, the thing is if I have it open at like a 20-degree angle, it works perfectly fine. Like, I was able to, again, when we were in our brief Riverside era, I had to send all the intros to my email so I could input them on there. I was able to actually send them all to myself without any issues. But again, like a 20-degree angle. So that's how I'm going to make the graphic for this episode. So if it's terrible, I'm basically shooting blanks at this point. But yeah, so we're back. It's been a while since we've recorded. We actually haven't recorded since they've played any games, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think the Ari Alexander episode came out after the Northeastern game. I think it was before. But that's how long it's been. So the Red Sox played 15 spring training games.
We're going to recap every one of them.
Every single one by one.
Inning by inning.
Inning by inning. We're going to talk about we may even go pitch by pitch to talk about the way these 15 games have gone. Well, the Red Sox are 7-8 in spring training thus far, if that matters to some. It doesn't really to me, because like the entire MLB team is playing in the WBC. So like we're watching Braden Ward play baseball every single day at this point.
And that gets me fired up.
He is kind of fun though. It's very unethical in the sense that like he doesn't hit the ball hard at all, but like that guy puts the ball on the ground, he's safe at first base. But yeah, just genuine curiosity. Who stood out for you on like in the positive sense for you so far in this camp?
Yeah, and like you said, it's weird at the moment because so many of the guys you have anyways in spring training, you're going to have small sample sizes because guys don't play full games, and it's all just kind of figuring things out. I'd say, before we sent him to the WBC, Jaron looked incredible. He was just hitting balls in the air very hard consistently. He was 7 for 12. So obviously 12 at bats. We can't exactly be like, yes, he's winning MVP this year because of those 12 at bats. But if a lot of those extra base hits came against left-handed pitching, if Jaron is going to be more competitive against left-handed pitching this year, which they're clearly going to be asking for him because Cora has basically said he is number 3 in the lineup every single day. And, Duran it's always been weird with him now with the whole outfield situation because, he doesn't fit the prototypical DH, but he's kind of bad in left field, but he's weirdly very good in center field. But you have the best center fielder in baseball, and I'm still kind of afraid they're going to make the best center fielder in baseball play second base, but we'll get into that later. But like if Duran is the DH every single day, or at least most of the week, he'll factor in guys need days off. You're going to require him to at least be competitive against left-handed pitching, and that's what we've seen so far. And then besides that, Contreras hit some very impressive home runs. Then on the pitching side of things, Early has looked really good and seems to be seriously battling for a spot in the rotation off the rip. But Oviedo's also been really good. And those are kind of the two guys hanging in there for that fifth slot. And we'll probably see as camp develops. Does Oviedo have any options left, or is he out of options?
I think he's got one. It's
Yeah.
one or two. I know he's at least got one.
Okay. Because if he didn't, then that would obviously make their decision making more clear. And I still tend to think it would. Especially he hasn't given up an earned run in spring training yet in 3 starts, which is obviously quite good. But Early has also been really good, and I like what I'm seeing out of both of them.
Yeah, and not even just them too. When we're talking about guys that are vying for that 5th rotation spot, I mean, we haven't seen Cutter Crawford yet. We haven't seen Patrick Sandoval yet in games. They're apparently like a week or two away from actually getting into games. So they'll probably both open the year on the injured list, if I had to guess, so they can kind of bake in like a month rehab for them. But like Toley's looked awesome too.
He clearly should have been the Team USA captain.
Yes, for sure, without question. Not Aaron Judge. That speech. I'm still recovering. I'm still wiping the crust out of my eyes from the snooze that put me into. But yeah, the pitching so far has been kind of what stood out to me. First and foremost, I mean, the first game we got from Ranger Suarez wasn't great. I mean, he hung a breaking ball to Connor Griffin and he hit it 9,000 feet. But that was really about it. The command wasn't great for him in his first start. I mean, he's a command guy through and through. His velo's been up in camp, but he's not going to be a guy who's throwing like 94, 95. He's really going to have to beat you with 92 and getting creative with his secondaries. And when you have a guy who's very, predicated on his secondary stuff, it's very touch and feel and takes a while for the feel to come back. And that's why also, to this point in camp, like Brian Bayo's looked awful.
Yeah.
And like they're really trying to like workshop his changeup back into being what it used to be, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I mean, we saw in his exhibition start for the Dominican Republic, he threw 2. They're like, you're not throwing that shit. It's just absolutely not. This is way too important for you to be throwing a pitch that you're just not getting any results on. But he's also a guy who's got options, and it's weird because he got extended. Same with Kristian Campbell. But like, is it possible that 2 of the guys that Craig Breslow gave extensions to in the last couple of years opened the year in Worcester? Like, I don't know. I mean, because like you said, Early's been awesome. Oviedo's been awesome. Toley's been awesome. They'll probably option one of Early or Toley, definitely.
Yeah, and I tend to think it's for sure Toley, if not both.
Yeah.
Like I think Toley has the most outside chance of making the roster, especially because they trusted Early with starting a winner-take-all postseason game. So that I feel like that definitely gives you a leg up on making camp the next year, especially when the results in camp have been good. Like, yeah, if Early was struggling right now, that would change the calculations. But when he's pitching really well and he was allowed to make a postseason start, I feel like if one of those 2 guys is going to make the team out of camp, it leans towards him.
Yeah, I think he also like, and like you mentioned with the postseason start, and we talked about it kind of going into the playoffs, and even when they both got called up, like Early, because he's got a much more refined arsenal, he's just got a higher floor. And I think to open the season, like the Red Sox really, the way the AL East is constructed, like I think Baltimore is going to be probably worse than people think they're going to be, because like a lot of people are looking at the offseason they've had. And they've had an awesome one. Like, I'm not going to take anything away from the offseason they've had. Remember that they won like 74 games last year. Like, they're not just like an 100-win team because they added Pete Alonso and Shane Baz and Ryan Helsley and Chris Bassett. As much as I love Bassett, they're going to be a solid team, but I think really like April is going to be very important. You can't really roll into like what they did last year, where the first 71 games they were 36-35.
Yeah,
I only know that by heart because I'm pretty sure that was the record when they traded Devers. And like you can't do that this year because Toronto is going to be good. The Yankees are always going to find a way to win about 90 games. The Rays are always annoying. I don't think the Rays are going to win a whole lot, but like,
that roster looks bad, but also they could devil magic their way into being not terrible because they
still can pitch. They still can pitch. Like if McClanahan's actually back and healthy and looks good, like they're going to win way more games than they should. And then again,
Right. But also
Baltimore's
that's
going to win
asking a
too.
lot for Tampa Bay's pitching to pitch.
Yeah, definitely. But you can't. I just don't think you can afford to go with the higher ceiling, lower floor option, at least right now in Tolley. So I agree with you that if it's one of the two, I think Connolly makes the team. But I still probably lean towards neither of them making the team. As annoying as that announcement's going to be when Early gets optioned to AAA, they're not going to option Brian Bayo. They could. I think they lose him if they do that. You don't want to do that. You need Bayo. You'll need him at some point in the season anyway, and he's always been, a slow starter as well. Again, he's a guy who, like, yes, he throws 97 with sink, but like he's not a strikeout guy. His command's very important to him. And so far he hasn't had it, but he looked all right in his WBC exhibition start, and I think he'll be fine. And people are being way too mean to him. Like if he's only a 5 starter, like they're paying him $8 million a year.
Yeah, that's still below
It's
market
fine.
value for a number 5 starter.
Yeah, like he'll be fine. And if he regresses a bit from last year, as he probably should, based on the fact he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts and relies a lot on balls in play, batted ball luck. It's
But the defense behind him should be better this year, and
it should be.
that could also help him out, even if the actual batted ball results are worse. If they're going in better places this year, it could even out.
Yeah, especially because you're looking at the outfield that's probably going to be every single day, with some exceptions when guys, shuffle around to DH. Roman, Sadon, Wilyer Abreu. I have a hard time finding a better defensive outfield in the sport. I
Yeah.
like, I mean, it helps when, you have 2 Gold Glove winners in right field and center. And Roman's, a very good defensive left fielder. On the infield, I mean, we'll get into how second base is shaking out because it's going to be kind of weird. But like, you've got Caleb Durbin, who's a passable, if not just a straight up good defender. We'll talk about Trevor Story at some point, and then Wilson Contreras is a very good defensive first baseman, and obviously Narvaez is among the best defensive catchers in the sport. So they'll be a good defensive team, which is nice because, again, the main question that's going to follow them throughout the entire season is how the hell are they going to take the lead? Like they'll probably be very good at preserving them because their pitching's very good, even if their bullpen's got some question marks. Their defense is going to be good, but they've got to score runs to take the
Yeah.
lead. And
It will be kind of refreshing though, just because it's like I can't even remember the last time the Red Sox defense was like actually good at their jobs. Like it's been
probably
a
18 or 19,
yeah,
probably.
like it's been rough, and like we kind of saw where after 21, where they were obviously very good in 21, but the defense wasn't. They kind of tried overcorrecting a bit, and that's how you ended up with Jackie Bradley Jr. as your starting right fielder in 22. And you saw how that season went, and obviously Story getting hurt didn't help at all. But it's been rough, like the Red Sox defense, and then you get into 23 with the Kike at shortstop stuff, and it's not been good. Even when the team's been good, like last year and like in 21, like there's been so many defense and base running miscues that just cost you so many runs over the course of a season. And hopefully a lot of that is out of their system this year with this team is currently constructed. But of course, injuries and dumb shit will happen. But at least like looking at this roster right now, I'm like, oh, there isn't anyone projected to start on this team where I'm concerned about their glove. And that's encouraging.
Yeah, it's weird because the only player on the projected opening day roster that I'm like cautiously, observant of is Trevor Story, and it has nothing to do with his glove. I trust that he's going to be able to get to the baseball. It's the throws, and that was
Yeah.
what hurt him in September. And like there was a report that came out. Well, Alex Spear wrote an article that Internal Metrics had Trevor Story as a top 3 defensive shortstop in the American League last year entering September. I don't know if I agree with that, but I do agree at least that he was a good shortstop
Yeah.
from about the time Kristian Campbell got sent down till the end of August. So what? That was about 8 to 10 weeks of
Yeah.
really good shortstop play. And it was getting better with Campbell, but it still wasn't very good, but it was getting better. Then it was really good for about almost 3 months, and then September, it fell off the face of the earth. He was atrocious at shortstop, and it was, again, entirely on the throws, and that's why everyone was saying they needed to move him to second base. That was kind of the priority for a lot of people, was getting him off shortstop. I still think that he's kind of earned the right to be the shortstop until he proves that he can't do it. I will chalk it up to, like, similarly to when a starter that's missed a ton of time over the years, like over a 2-3 year period, comes back and then runs out of gas at the end of the race. And like we'll see it with relievers and stuff too. Like, he hasn't played baseball that much in 5 years. I think 2021 was the last time he actually played more than 100 games. He played 155, I think, last year. I'm going to chalk it up to some fatigue. And if, we're in mid-May and he's still having issues throwing the ball to first base, the weather, like, I'll give him like the first couple of weeks of the season too, to kind of shake off I'll give him the cold weather excuse. But if we're in mid-May, we're getting like 50, 60-degree days, he's still struggling to throw the ball, then yes, get him the hell off shortstop and put Marcelo at short. Do not put IKF at short. I swear to God.
It's going to be stay down.
It could be because they're being really weird about Marcelo. They're being really weird about Marcelo. And I get it. Like, he hasn't earned the right to be considered a big leaguer yet. Or, I mean, I guess you can't take away that he's a big leaguer. But he hasn't earned the right to be, like,
a guaranteed starter.
Yeah. He is, like, what did he do last year to earn that he should be on the opening day roster?
He had really nice hair.
He did have really nice hair. He had a multi-homer game off Zach Lytle. That was pretty cool.
New Washington National.
The latest Washington National. But other than that, I mean, it's the same story with him every year. Like, he'll flash the talent that made him a top 4 pick, and then he'll get hurt. And you've got some veterans on the roster. As much as I, again, don't really love those options, if you're planning on platooning him at second base anyways, that being like the best case scenario for his role to start the year, I honestly would almost rather him just get to play every single day in Worcester. But that's just me.
No, I don't necessarily disagree with that. Romy being hurt really throws a wrench into everything, because at the very least last season, Romy was competitive enough against right-handed pitching that, like, if they kind of just went in with like, well, we're going to start Romy for now, and Marcelo will start the year in Worcester and he will come eventually. And like, it was pretty much basically Romy every day until then. I'd feel much better about things versus if the plan is IKF. And do we still have a stream? Okay. Cause I said it and I was concerned. Like,
we both mentioned IKF. It was a dangerous path.
And like, it feels like Monasterio could also play into things in the infield to begin the year, especially with Romy not being, it seems like it's a done deal that Romy's not going to be ready for the start of the season, which sucks, but it is what it is.
Sounds like there's an outside shot that he may not play like at all this year. I mean, he may have shoulder surgery.
Right. So I hope Marcelo does enough in the remainder of camp to where they feel comfortable with him starting at second base or at third base if they want to do Durbin at second and Meyer at third, I don't care which positions those two guys play. Whatever they think is actually better defensively, I'll trust them on that. But I don't want to be relying on IKF to begin the year. And like, he might already be in a platoon, as you said, with IKF. And that in itself is a little sad. But it's also Alex Cora with left-handed players, which besides Roman Anthony and I guess Jarren Duran, he doesn't believe in them. So it's not surprising. But I just hope Marcelo has a good rest of camp and he earns that starting job, because I'm going to feel a little sad if I read IKF in that starting lineup in Cincinnati. And he very well probably will be, because it's Andrew Abbott starting. So he probably will be starting that game anyway. And I'll be like very hyped when I get through like 1 through 6 in the order, and then I'll see IKF and I'll be like, shit, that sucks.
Yep. I hear you there. I hear you there for sure. That's I saw that Andrew Abbott got announced as the opening day starter, and my brain went to, I'm going to witness Andrew Monasterio's first Red Sox regular season home run in person. That's going to be
I'd rather
fantastic.
be Monasterio starting that game, to be honest. And
Does he play
maybe that's
second base?
yeah.
Yeah, he plays everywhere. It's
Yeah,
just
he's
I
like a
get
utility infielder type.
yeah, and he's been awesome in camp too.
Yes.
It's funny because Brewers fans absolutely hate this man. They
Is
hate
there a
him.
reason? Because like his numbers last year seemed solid, like nothing crazy, but like he had a 755 OPS.
Yeah, he had a 111 WRC plus overall. He had a good year against lefties overall. I saw a lot of people saying that was the fakest run of success ever. I don't know. And like Nate Eaton's played the infield as well, so he's somebody else that could probably factor in, especially if they wanted to put Durbin at second, they could put Eaton at third. I mean, I
Yeah.
know Eaton's played second in professional baseball, not at the major league level, but
Fakest
it's
run of success ever is just funny because I'm like sitting here as a Red Sox fan and I'm like, I watched Sandy Leone. Like
he was so good for 2016. That was the most ridiculous run I've ever seen. But the thing is, 2016 Sandy Leone, nothing about him being good was fake. Like
no, he was just
like
like randomly elite
like
for
he was
a
just
brief moment in time.
pulling the ball in the air, hitting the ball hard, like not striking out. He was taking his walks. Obviously, he's always been a great defensive catcher. It was just like randomly one year where he just put it all together and then just was like, I don't want to do that anymore. He's like, this is Christian Vasquez's team now. Just a second.
Or Carlos Vasquez, according to the Fox Sports
Yes.
announcers last night.
Oh my God. Broadcasting has been a mess the last, it's been tough because I feel like Mike Breen's been losing his fastball as the head honcho over there on ESPN. There was like 19 different times during the Celtics game today that he like screwed something up, and I'm like, Mike, please get it together. But I feel like also like in the WBC, that did you see that the video of the walk-off home
Yeah,
run?
the Ozzy Albies walk off.
And they take the lead. And then 10 seconds goes by. He's like, oh, it was a walk-off. Just brutal. Just,
I
just
love showing
brutal.
up to work drunk. It's awesome.
I'll take your word for it. But yeah, no, I agree with you on Marcelo. It'd be really nice if he could make the team on opening day, and even if he doesn't start the opener, which he won't because it's a lefty starter, and Alex Cora is really weird about that. Just refuses to. Although he's also said that he's going to loosen the reins on the platoon with Willier,
Yeah.
which makes it interesting because I still like. I don't know. This roster still feels very weird because it's like the question I want to ask you generally is like, I guess on the broader spectrum more about Jarren Duran than the outfield situation in general. Like,
Yeah.
are you happy Duran's still here? Like, let's just take the 12 at bats out of the equation because obviously they're gonna skew it. But like, we're here on March 8th. Are we happy Jarren Duran's still here? Eh, Twitter's not watching, so you can say it honestly if it's yes.
It's so complicated because in a vacuum, Jarren Duran, even like the version of Jarren Duran last year, he still led the team in WAR in like what we consider like a not great year comparatively to what he did 2 years ago, where like he, if not for tennis racket gate and then like his season kind of tail spinning from there, he could have had 200 hits that season. Like it was legit doable. And 200 hits is pretty uncommon at the moment. And like he was legit in striking distance if he didn't get suspended and then play kind of bad post suspension.
Yeah,
But it's
191.
yeah. So if he was good the last few weeks of the season, I have no doubt he crosses that mark. But it's weird where the roster construction is still kind of bizarre because you still have Massa and Jaron and all the outfielders, and it's like there's too many of them. like you, like is Massa the in name only fourth outfielder, but like Jaron would play the outfield if an outfielder needs a day off, and then Massa's the DH. Like, is that like the actual like roster construction plan? But they're all left-handed. Like, I don't know how you get Nate Eaton into this thing transparently unless you get rid of a guy, because I think, at least the way I'm looking at the roster, unless Marcelo isn't in the big leagues to begin the year, like, I don't see how Marcelo and Nate Eaton are both on the major league roster, because I kind of think when I look at this thing that both IKF and Monasterio are going to be on the big league roster to begin the year. And if both those guys are, like, or you just have one less reliever, but I doubt they want to do that. So, like,
Well, they have to have 13 pitchers on the roster.
right.
So
I'm trying to, like, do the math in my head, and I don't see how Nate Eaton begins the season on the 26th if Marcelo does. But if Marcelo doesn't, you're looking at IKF or Cedon as your center fielder, or as your second baseman. But if Cedon's your second baseman, then you get Massa into the lineup. But I don't want Cedon playing second base. It's just this weird, convoluted thing where it's like we're seeing in the WBC, and I don't want to turn it into the WBC equals how you play in the majors. But Massa's hitting, and Massa did hit at the end of last season. And I don't want to just throw in the towel on Massa because he's making a lot of money, because he is clearly a very good hitter. And I understand the power isn't what you'd want from a DH, but neither is Jaren's. And I don't know. It's this really weird situation where I don't think you should trade any of these guys for the sake of trading them, because they are all too good in a vacuum to just dump for roster space. But then again, they didn't care about doing that with Rafael Devers, who was better than any of these guys. So
yeah,
I don't know where I land on it, outside of, like, I am glad that none of them, maybe it will be Cedon or Wilyer, came to fruition, because that would have made me upset if we did enter camp without either of those guys. But, like, I'm kind of just still jury out, hoping for the best, but think the roster construction kind of sucks in terms of the outfield.
it's weird because I think for the outfield situation to make sense with, like, everybody still being here is, like, someone has to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, someone has
Or
to get hurt, and
Cedon's
we're
the
not.
goddamn second baseman, and I
Yeah.
still don't like that.
Yeah, so it's like you're either putting Cedon at second, where I don't buy that he couldn't hit in the second half last year because he was playing second base. Let's stop that nonsense. But he should not be playing the infield. If he needed to for like a week,
You're right.
then fine. If he's the opening day second baseman, something went horribly wrong. But the only alternative for it to make sense for you to keep every single one of the outfielders that you have is somebody's got to get hurt or Cedon's got to play second base.
Well, yeah, that's why when that collision happened a week or so ago, it was like, oh, maybe they're geniuses.
And then
When-
Cedon came up lame trying to rob the Jeter Downs home run the other
Yeah.
day, like, which that was a cursed moment in time. But like, yeah, it's I'm with you in the sense that, like, if they had just traded any of them for the sake of just moving them, like if they had traded Duran the way Twitter wanted to just trade Duran, it's like whatever you can get for him, get whatever the best offer is on the table, get it, because I don't like him, get him out of here. I would have been very upset, unless obviously somehow it was Ketel Marte. I got scared with the Riverside stuff that my computer was crapping out again. I don't know where that cut off, but basically, had they traded Duran for the sake of trading Duran like Twitter wanted, I would have been very upset. I would have felt the same way about trading any of these guys. So, in the sense that I don't think they would have gotten the best value possible for any of these players, I'm glad they're still here. It does get very awkward, does get very weird. Like, say, like Massa is going to be the most expensive bench player in all of baseball, but I don't hate that either. Like last year, he was the like in very small sample size, but I think Red Sox stats tweeted it out. Came up 12 times with a man at third base and less than 2 outs. And every single time that guy scored when you have a team that you're questioning how well they're going to be at scoring, how good they're going to score runs, how well they're going to score runs, you need guys that you can count on to move runners around and bring them in with less than 2 outs from third base. Caleb Durbin's done a great job of that in camp. As much as I did not like that trade, he's looked very good in camp so far, so I can't take that away from him. Masa's also very good at moving runners around and bringing them in from third base, and they'll need that. And I don't hate the idea of controlling the environment he hits in. If like you want to treat it like the golden at bat, like that stupid rule was, go for it. And he'll play, 3-4 times a week, pinch hit twice, start once or twice. I think that's fine. You're not going to get the same kind of volume that you would want out of a guy making $18.5 million, but if the alternative is Nate Eaton, I still would rather have Massa on the roster. I just think Massa is going to impact the game more than Nate Eaton pinch running would.
Yeah, but
And
Nate Eaton owns Tarek Skubal.
he does. He does. Which the WBC turns guys into superhumans, man. Like Lucas Ramirez has 2 home runs. Nate Eaton going first pitch off Skubal. He will never do that for the Red Sox.
He could. Well, you're right. He won't because Skubal will be a Red Sox.
You've got a good point. You make a good point there. Yeah, because I don't know when Detroit comes to Boston. So, well, actually, they come to Boston like the 3rd week of April.
He will be a Red Sox.
Yeah, he's already having second thoughts about only making one start for Team USA. Maybe he's having second thoughts about starting 2026 with the Tigers. Who knows?
Yeah, he's like, oh, wait, there are places to live that aren't Detroit?
Sign me up. So we've talked a little bit about some of the positives of camp thus far. We haven't talked about some of the deep cuts like Mickey Gasper. I want to reserve that for like the end when we're just screwing around to make sure that we get to an hour as we do on the Celtics show all the time. Who are some of those guys in camp thus far that have really disappointed you to this point?
Yeah, I mean, we already touched on Bayo, so I don't want to keep going into the Brian Bayo of it all. But yeah, he obviously has not been good in camp by any means. But that also doesn't mean he won't figure it out. It's only been one start with Gray, so I don't really want to, start going into Sonny Gray sucks because he got taken deep in his one start. Like, I don't care too much. I assume he's going to be fine. He's too much of a professional for me to actually be concerned.
He also walked like 3 guys in that start, I think, and
Right.
or his command was a mess, and he's a guy who walks like 1 guy per 9.
Exactly. So like, I'm not going to freak out over that. I mean, Connor Wong's been kind of bad, but also like we don't have much of a sample size on anyone. And like we touched on this before we started recording, the Matt Thaiss demand, not that he's been that good either.
He hasn't been. He's got like 1 more hit in camp than Wong does.
Right. So it's not like we're exactly, comparing, what say Braden Ward's done in camp or Mickey Gasper's done in camp to Connor Wong. Like it's been not particularly great either. Now, granted, I understand there might be more confidence in Matt Theiss's glove than there is in Connor Wong's. And in terms of a backup catcher, I understand you do generally like value the glove more than the bat. And if the bat also is better, then like, why wouldn't you? I get that whole thought process. But like, I'm also not going to completely freak out over 16 at bats of Connor Wong. And I get Connor Wong was terrible last year, but like so long as Thaiss doesn't like, does he have like can he opt out?
I didn't see anything on that, but I feel like it's almost an assumption that these guys do.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of assume they do, and some will use it, some won't.
Right. So like if you can stash Thaiss and Worcester, great, because like catchers get hurt and Wong could be terrible. And if you hit like May and Connor Wong is still last year Connor Wong and you want to pull the plug at that point, I get it, because like we can't do this forever. But I also wouldn't just like cut bait on Wong for the sake of Matt Thaiss, who isn't that great of a player anyway. Now, granted, Theis is a lefty, which you love. Cora is gonna love having a backup catcher who's a lefty to a righty starter because he'll salivate, and then Matt Theis will end up accidentally starting more games than Narvaez. So maybe that's why I don't want it, because I would like Narvaez to be my starting catcher, please. But
Wait till he finds out Mickey Gasper's a switch hitter.
It is so funny that Mickey Gasper's like killing the ball right now, because I felt so bad for like all of the original Mickey Gasper experience. So fingers crossed that he's not going to make the team, but if he is here in Worcester and can work his way back to the majors at some point, that works for me. Beyond that, Sogard's been pretty bad. He's kind of lost any chance of opening on the roster. Not that I gave him much of a chance of doing so with how many utility infielders they already have, but Sogard being terrible is not helping his case. He'll be in Worcester. He totally could get called up if an injury happens. Might even be the first one called up if an injury happens. But I don't see Sogard getting that opportunity. Like Abreu didn't look that good, but like once again, such a small sample size, I'm not gonna like lose my mind over 14 at bats of Wilyer Abreu. Like Willier's gonna be fine. Beyond that, like no one's really coming to mind as like, oh, this guy hasn't played that well. All the relievers have in small sample size been fine. Like there's no one who I'm like freaking out about. Like Ryan Watson's ERA is terrible right now, but like and admittedly, I didn't see any of the Ryan Watson stuff, so I don't know exactly what happened in his either appearance or appearances that went wrong. And the game logs aren't showing. But if Ryan Watson sucks, I don't think that's going to kill the season either.
Yeah, Rule 5 guy. I do think people he doesn't have to make the team like just because they picked him in the Rule 5 draft.
Right.
Like they can just be like,
Send him home.
What? Yeah. They could just be like, you didn't really do anything for us, man. And just get rid of him. Like it's fine. It's not like, I mean, I don't know who they'd really replace him with. I mean, Zach Kelly. I don't know if Zach Kelly's really done much to win over anybody this camp. I mean, he's been, again, like you said, most of the relievers have been fine. Jovani Moran's been fine. Like maybe they want to, keep one of these, extra starters in the bullpen to start the season, but it sounds like they don't. But they did that with Tanner Houck. They did it with Cutter Crawford. So like they've done it before. I doubt they will, but they could.
Is the plan at the moment Moran is the only lefty that's not Chapman? Because he's about to learn Brendan Bernardino, if that's the case. Like he's going to pitch every game.
Yeah, it's possible right now. He's the only projected lefty on the opening day roster. Again, we're assuming that like Sandoval is going to start the year on the IL probably, and Tolley and Early one will be in the rotation or they'll be in AAA.
Yeah, I don't want those young guys in the pen, but it's like, yeah, I'm looking at this right now. Like, yeah, they don't have anyone who's even like on the roster bubble who like I look at as like, oh, this guy could be a factor as another lefty arm, which is not ideal. I'd like to have someone because I really don't need Jovani Moran pitching every day.
Yeah, and there's still options out there because Danny Coulom's still unsigned, Justin Wilson's still unsigned, and like they obviously had Justin Wilson last year, so they know him. Like, so it's weird that they haven't done anything regarding that yet. Maybe it's just a matter of giving Ryan Watson every opportunity to just make the team out of camp. And if he sucks and it's March 15th and it's like, all right, maybe we should just have another lefty instead of this Rule 5 guy it's just not clicking with. But yeah, no, Jovani Moran might pitch like 90 games this year at this rate, which like, hey, we'll be testing out that reconstructed elbow. He missed like 2 years because of it. With Minnesota.
Looking at left-handed relievers, the only 4 that are showing up in free agency are Wilson, Joey Lucchesi, and then Jalen Beeks. So,
yikes!
Yeah, I mean, if those are my choices, welcome home, Justin Wilson. Because
I think it's kind of funny that Justin Wilson of all people comes out and he's like, I'm only going to play for a contender this year. It's like, who do you think you are, Justin Wilson? Well, you're fine. You're a good pitcher and all, but like, what reputation have you earned to be like, I'm only pitching for a contender?
Is Kopech out for the year, or like, is there any other reason Kopech isn't signed?
It's a good question. Let me look. He
Because like I
the
know he
last
was bad last year, but like there's too much arm talent there. You at least invite him to spring training if he's physically capable of it.
he walked 13 guys in 11 innings last year. Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with what's up with him. Obviously, he wasn't on the postseason roster last year. He was put on the IL at the end of the season with a knee issue. I don't think there's anything wrong with his arm. But yeah. I mean, a lot of guys are still unsigned that make no sense. Like we'll talk about we could talk about Giolito now. Like, what the hell is he still doing unemployed? Season starts in less than a month, starts in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if
Less
there's
than
just
3
a
weeks.
disconnect between like what his value is, like with him and his camp versus like what he's being offered. But I also, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's like, I need the most money ever, especially like, not that this factors into things, but like he grew up with money. Like he's not someone who like is going, paycheck to paycheck in professional baseball. And he's also, made millions along the way. Not that that helps, but I don't know what it is, because he was good last year. He wasn't like great, and I understand the velocity went down over the course of the season. But similar to what we were talking about earlier, like he hadn't pitched in a while, so of course the arm is going to kind of diminish over the course of the season. That goes without saying.
Yeah,
But
and there's
yeah, I don't know why no team will throw 12 to 15 million on a 1-year deal at Giolito, because I sure would if I was any team that doesn't have a surplus of starters at the moment. Like the Red Sox do, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, but for him, unfortunately. Or like if you're the Dodgers, yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But there's a lot of teams that could use a Lucas Giolito, both bad teams who could use a veteran mentor, or good teams that depth is always good. Like, I don't know why Baltimore didn't throw something at him.
I'm looking at the Giants rotation. Like they've got Landon Roop, Adrian Hauser, and Tyler Mahle in their rotation going into the year. And I would take Giolito over all three of those guys. I probably wouldn't take him over Robbie Ray, even though projections don't really love Ray this season. I mean, that's a guy who's won a Cy Young in his career, and when he's on, he's on. But like, the Reds just lost Hunter Green for God only knows how long. I mean, they've got a surplus of young starting pitching, but they just made the playoffs last year. Are they really content with having a rotation that has Brady Singer and Rhett Lauder in it at the same time with Andrew Abbott as the ace? I don't know how long Hunter Green's going to be out for, but it's an MRI on the elbow. That's never a good sign.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like just going down the list of teams here, and maybe Giolito is being, not necessarily about money, but about opportunity, not wanting to go pitch for a bad team.
Why
Maybe
not
he's just
Oakland? Oakland's pitching is a disaster.
yeah, and they've got a good lineup, so there's a reason to believe that they
Or
might be a
excuse me,
pretty decent team.
Sacramento. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to dead name them.
this the Sacramento A's. I mean, like the Mets rotation again, not very good. Like Clay Holmes is in their rotation. Sean Manaea is fine.
Luis Severino is the ace of the Sacramento A's.
Yeah,
Like
there's
Lucas Giolito would probably step in and be the best pitcher on that roster. And
probably
they have, like, ever since leaving Oakland, they haven't been allergic to handing out an occasional contract. Hence,
yeah.
they have Severino, and they've been extending all these guys. So I don't really like. They signed Aaron Savale. It's like, at that point, why didn't you just sign Giolito?
Yeah, it's weird. And I'm looking at the Padres rotation. They've got Herman Marquez in it.
Oh yeah,
They
the
got Walker
Padres
Buehler.
rotation is gross. Like, it's why, like, a lot of my friends like don't understand why I'm like, I don't think the Padres are going to be very good this year. It's like, you look at that rotation, you're banking on Michael King being healthy, Joe Musgrove being healthy, and Nick Pivetta doing last year again. And beyond that, they don't even have anyone besides those three. Like, they have 3 starters, and each one of those 3 starters has a serious concern.
Yeah, and behind them is Griffin Canning, who ruptured his Achilles in June. So I don't know, unless he's in the Jason Tatum lab. I don't think he's coming back probably at least until the middle point part of the season. Yu Darvish may never pitch again, and Matt Waldron had hemorrhoid surgery 2
Yeah,
weeks
and
ago.
then Randy Vasquez.
Yeah, and Randy Vasquez is their 4 starter right now with, again, Herman Marquez, and they got Walker Buehler on a minor league deal. And we saw how Walker Buehler was last year. I mean, the Phillies got a much better uh, version of him, even if he struck out like 4 guys in 12 innings, but that's beside the point. I don't think that there's and it's a big ballpark too. Like, again, it's a Giolito gets a lot of fly balls against him. Being in a big ballpark would suit him. I think even like the Tigers, they just lost Reese Olson for the season.
Yeah.
So like they could use another starting pitcher. I mean, they
Twins
did
lost
bring in
Pablo
Verlander.
Lopez for the season. I know the Twins aren't going to be particularly good, and they've been cutting salary, but sign him to a 1 year and trade him at the deadline. If you're Minnesota, it at least buys you innings.
I'm rescinding my statement about the Tigers because their rotation is actually pretty good with Skubal, Valdez, Flaherty, Verlander, and Casey Mize.
Yeah,
I could actually see a world where they don't need Giolito, especially
yeah,
because they've got Jackson Jobe coming back at some point.
for sure. But yeah, like as you said, Cincinnati. I think Baltimore obviously could have used. I think Sacramento still could. It's like there's a lot of teams. Like, yeah, we know Colorado and the White Sox and Washington, even with Lytle, that their pitching sucks. But I also get that. Like, why would he go there and why would they spend money on him? But there are teams that are like on the bubble where he could contribute, and I don't get why we haven't gotten there yet.
And I'm going to throw one more team out there because they still have Taijuan Walker in Philadelphia. You're telling me Lucas Giolito's not better than him? They've just been paying Taijuan Walker, basically turned him into Bobby Bonilla, but with like $19 million for the last few years. He's just
even
there.
like Houston, besides Hunter Brown, who can Houston actually rely upon in their rotation?
I mean, they got Imai, so there's
but can they even with him? And like he'll get a rotation spot, but like we don't know what he is yet.
Yeah, good point. And like Mike Burrows, they traded for, and they really like him. Christian Javier used to be very good. I don't even know who Ryan Weiss is. Is that the same guy that was on the Red Sox a few years ago, or is that Zach? That was Zach Weiss. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, he just came over from Korea. He was very good in Korea, and he never pitched in the majors before going to Korea. He was like a career minor leaguer for the Royals and Diamondbacks.
Gotcha. And then Lance McCullers Jr., who is
Doesn't
about as real as Adalberto Mondesi.
Yeah, like you're telling me no team could use Lucas Giolito. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and like this is coming from a guy like you were the Giolito stan of the podcast last year. I was very much on the opposite end of the spectrum of like appreciating how good he was doing, but not trusting him like ever. It blows me away that this man is still unemployed as we are here on March 8th. Again, the season starts in less than 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and this man doesn't have a
it's
job.
Not even like there's a draft pick attached to him. Like it's not like there's like an issue with that, because I understand like that has caused issues in the past. The Steven Drews and the Kendrys Moraleses in the good old days, but
Dallas Keuchel, like in the late 2000s, had to sign after Craig Kimbrell in 2019 signed with the Cubs after the draft. Like it's definitely something that I'd consider if he had a pick attached to it. But I mean, like even the Guardians, like this rotation, nothing special. Like Joey Cantillo's their 5 starter, Logan Allen, Slade Ciccone is their 3. Like it's just not. There's so many.
Yeah, the Angels pitching sucks, and like I don't know how serious they are, but he's also from there.
Yeah.
So like,
what a weird situation that
like they're relying on Alek Manoah in the big 2026.
Yeah. Like what is going on that Lucas Giolito can't find work? You know,
hardworking Italian American can't get a job in this.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Poor guy. Hopefully he finds
every day.
Huh?
No, I said he brings his lunchbox to work every day.
Yeah,
and no one will give him a job.
Real lunch pail to work guy. Just wears the hard hat every day. Poor guy. I hope he finds some more. Hope he finds he is that man could sweat for sure. Hopefully he finds somewhere to latch on to soon. I mean, what his ERA last year was 3.21.
Yeah.
Like, are we losing the plot here? Like, I love a good FIP with the best of them, and like expected ERA. Like again, his expected ERA last year was 5.01. That's not good. But like he had 3.41 ERA in 145 innings. He was a good pitcher last year.
Yeah.
Over the course of 145 innings, I think it's safe to say that he is what his ERA said he was for that
Hey.
season. And like his arm fell apart, and that sucks, but he's healthy. He's been working out. He's been throwing for teams. No, absolutely no buzz around him at all. Like he's probably the only person in America right now preying on a UCL tear. I don't want to. I'll take that back because that's a horrible thing to attribute to him. Very off character of him too. But yeah, back real quick to talk about some of the guys that have really disappointed me so far. Outside of that 10 pitch at bat against Justin Verlander, Kristian Campbell's done virtually nothing for me as well.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't see a pathway to him making the major league roster on opening day, barring like maybe 3 injuries. You're talking Marcelo getting hurt and 2 outfielders probably going down as well. And then even still, maybe not, depending on the severity of it. He pulled that home run off of Verlander again. It was a 10 pitch at bat. Like that was very impressive and like hopefully a sign of things to come for him. But to that point, he was having a really rotten spring training. And obviously the big thing for him is he doesn't pull the ball like ever. So nice to see him do it in that instance. I really, really struggling to see how he finds himself back in the majors, though. I'm sure he will at some point.
No, it's going to require injuries, as you said, because especially like I don't know what the deal is. It seems like he's going to be pretty much a full-time outfielder in Worcester, and they already have like 8,000 outfielders. And we're looking at, as we said, it looks like right now Nate Eaton isn't even going to make the team. So if something were to happen to an outfielder, it probably is Nate Eaton who gets that call first. So like he's the second right-handed hitting outfielder up. Like that's not a good position to be in if you're Kristian.
I still think they pulled the plug way too early on him at second base.
He
was awful.
He was quite bad, but like
he was so bad. It's like he was horrible. I got to make this abundantly clear. Terrible second baseman last year. But now that's like the only position that he could like maybe play at the major league level. Again, like you said, several injuries would have to happen for him to find himself back into an everyday role at the major league level. If he was just still at second base and just you have him glued there, he can get better at it. Like he's an athletic dude. It's not like he can't move.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. They just
bailed on that completely. Pull the plug on first base too quickly as well, because even though, you have Contreras now and you have Casas allegedly, like it's at least a situation where, again, and like Romy could figure in there if Romy does exist, which I'm hoping he does, ideally with mustache again. But, once again, it's a place where at least you aren't waiting on 8 different people to go down versus like for Campbell to start games in the outfield, you are looking at some combination of like 2 of Duran, Cedon, Jaron, and Willier going down. And then on top, or like some combination of like one of them goes down. Well, no, you would still need 2 of them to go down. And like whoever's left to be struggling platoon-wise to get Campbell in there. Or like maybe Campbell gets like some DH time because like if those guys go down, then Massa is the DH every day. Like it's just so convoluted at this point to where like there's no pathway that exists in the outfield. And I think he can be a good outfielder, but you already have so many. And like, do you want to trade Jaron and Willier to create a spot for Campbell who hasn't done anything at the big league level yet? No. I don't anyways. So it's this awkward situation where he might get like accidentally Rusney'd to prevent him from counting against the luxury tax, which is a shame.
Yeah. Are we at the point now with Kristian Campbell already where it's like the best outcome for him now is he goes nuclear in Worcester and gets traded. And like you basically can trade him as if he treat him like a prospect, just one that's on an 8-year extension. And I'm sure that that could be attractive to some teams. Like again, if the Diamondbacks are horrible, like this year, which I think they're going to be, I don't trust that team is going to be any good. And they've already entertained trading Ketel Marte once, twice, 3 times over the years. If they're awful, and it seems like that relationship is souring again, and Campbell has got like a 160 WRC plus in Worcester, and Ketel is very much available, is that a pathway where you could maybe move Kristian Campbell to Arizona? And I don't want to get too into like the specifics of maybe a deal centering around that, but like at this point, I think the best outcome for him in his career is go off in Worcester and pray someone across the league wants to take a chance on you and play in the major league level.
And it sucks though, because it feels like that's the conversation we had for the entirety of last year about Vaughn Grissom.
Yeah.
And we saw how that worked out. And I really don't want Kristian Campbell to get Vaughn Grissom. Like that would make me a little upset, because I do think Campbell is ultra talented and at least, hasn't had any of like the weird, like kind of character things about Grissom that kind of popped up occasionally. Like there haven't been any like weird quotes with Campbell or anything. Like he seems like he genuinely is willing to do whatever it takes to contribute and to help and to improve. But it seems like the team doesn't really have a plan for him, which is weird, because they basically gifted him the starting second base job last year when Marcelo was better in camp last year, because they wanted it to be Kristian.
And they signed Alex Bregman to play second base.
Yeah.
That was the report. That was the first report, that he was signed to play second base.
Right. And then they, nuke your relationship with Devers, and you don't give Marcelo that crack at the majors off the rip, when of the options last year, he had the best camp. Not that, spring training is everything, but Marcelo hit better and fielded better than Kristian Campbell did in last spring training. And they still gave it to Campbell because they wanted it to be Campbell. And then they extended him and paid him. And now it's like, what do we do with him? It's kind of like the situation we'd be in with Casas if he had signed that extension.
Yeah. And the only difference with Casas is it's been pretty much entirely injury based with him. Right. Like it's not, I mean, he was bad last year. I don't want to pretend like it didn't happen. I can't keep assuming that he would have gotten better. He was bad last year. But like his situation is very much a matter of health. I do wonder when/if he'll actually get into any games in camp. I think he will. He seems to be progressing pretty well. He's also moving very well, which is weird because I don't think he was really going full tilt like those videos we saw a couple weeks ago. He looks like he trimmed down a little bit, which is nice. I've been saying for like 3 years that man could stand to lose like 15 pounds because he's always been a chonker. I mean, we've seen the pictures of him as a kid. Like he's always been a bigger dude. But I do wonder when we'll actually get to see him face, actual human beings instead of just watching him in the shiesty in the Florida heat doing what Tristan Casas does and carrying a box that's like very clearly empty around the facility.
Plus, we get to see Casas with ABS again, which is like his best friend in the universe.
It is. He is going to piss off either opposing pitchers at some point, umpires at some point, and then eventually Alex Cora, because Casas will burn both challenges in an at bat at some point this season. It will happen. I'm so excited for when that happens, but it will happen at some point. But I'm very excited about the idea of him being in Worcester for a lot of the season because we get credentialed down there. Just the amount of opportunities we're going to get to just have him just talk our fucking heads off. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So excited. Him, Kristian, the Tolley will be there probably to start the year. Yeah. That is going to be a soundbite and a half, man. That'll be crazy.
The Mickey Gasper quotes.
Oh my God. Get to ask him if his parents are still staked out at Fenway. Like you played last year in Minnesota the entire year. Did you have your family stay at Fenway? Poor guy. Poor
If you're in
parents.
line to watch Mickey Gasper's first hit, stay in line.
Stay in line. You might be there till 2028, but stay in line. I'll be seated. I hope he gets an opportunity. But I also hope, and this is really mean to say, I hope he comes up like relatively early in the year and he has like an 0 for 3.
And they're still panning to his parents.
He has like an 0 for 3 and then gets sent back down. So we get to maybe have 2 entire full stints of Mickey Gasper in Boston with no hits, and then we'll see what happens down the road. He can get a hit eventually. I just think I'm at this point rooting for chaos. It's like with Jacoby Myers with not having a touchdown for like 3
Yeah.
years. It was like the second he got a touchdown, he was so much less interesting.
Yeah.
Like Mickey Gasper never having a hit for the Red Sox is like my favorite thing
No, he
about
could
him.
have been like the modern day Moonlight Graham.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a shame that
Yeah,
he
for sure.
succeeded in Minnesota.
Yeah, definitely. And succeeded lightly. I mean, he did get DFA'd and banished back to Boston, but hey,
I'd rather
hey,
live there than Minnesota. So
I would also for sure. Oh, maybe not this winter. Although I don't even know. I have no idea how
plus with
the
the state of Minnesota at the moment,
Oh,
it's
good
good to be
point.
out of there.
Very good point. Oh my god. Great point. Great point. Anyway. Um
Any buzzwords?
I think we got there. Mickey Gasper's been awesome though in camp. He's got an OPS of like 1500. He homered off Mike Clevenger on International Women's Day, which I think is awesome. Like
Yeah.
fuck Mike Clevenger. Like I hate that man. That's not a unique viewpoint to have with Mike Clevenger. But like,
Mickey the feminist Gasper.
yep, exactly. Mickey based Gasper. Not based hit, but based in general. What else? Noah Songs look pretty good in camp too.
Dave Dombrowski is losing his mind.
How old is Noah Song? He's like 28 years old, right? He's been a pro for like 9 years. Well, 7.
Yeah, he's
something like that.
28 and turns 29 in May.
He's an old man. I hope he gets an opportunity as well at some point. It's funny because I'm looking at his this is from 2023. Never mind. It's like I'm looking at his Fangraphs like rank, like how they project his stuff, and I'm like, everything is like a 50 or better, like graded out pitch. He throws hard. He's got good secondaries. I wonder where he'll start the year. Where did he finish the year last year? Did he get to Worcester? He did. He pitched 4 2/3 and had a 15.43 ERA. Nice. Awesome. Braden Ward's been good in camp. It's nice to have a new David Hamilton spawn in. He's got 13 steals in spring training.
David Hamilton's going to have a 3-WAR season this year. Like I'm so annoyed that like it's already been written.
Yeah, because Pat Murphy came out and said that he's going to have what was, oh my god, what was the actual thing he said? I gotta find this. I know you sent it in the chat, but how long ago did you send that in the chat? We're gonna
Quantum leap.
Quantum leap. I think 3 might be putting it lightly. It might be like 4.5.
He's gonna get MVP votes.
He's gonna finish the year with like what did Bryce Terang do last year? That is going to be David Hamilton this year. Last year, Bryce Terang / 288, 359, 435 with 4.4 FWAR, had 18 home runs, drove in 81 runs, and stole 24 bases.
Oh, so Hamilton's that, but with 70 steals.
Yeah, probably like 5.5 WAR, without question. That's gonna make me so upset. Good for him though. He went back to Milwaukee. That's where he started his career. Remember when Alex Benelis was like the face of that trade? We were all so hyped up because he made that like TikTok.
Yeah, I never actually bought the Benelis thing. I actually at the time was like, I saw Hamilton's like 100 and whatever steals that year in Milwaukee. I'm like, this is what I'm intrigued by, because even in the minors, you really don't see 100+ steals super often nowadays. So I was like,
No.
this intrigues me. And then he was actually pretty good a couple of years ago. And I know last year wasn't ideal, but he was also so up and down that like I don't know how much is fully his fault. I feel like with regular playing time, it probably would have been less weird. But no, I wish him the best. I just know he's going to have a really good year and it's going to drive me insane. And I'm just hoping Durbin is remotely close to as valuable as Hamilton ends up next year.
Hamilton this year in camp so far, 300, 364, 400 is his slash line. It's already starting. He's got 2 stolen bases. He's not Braden Ward, but he's doing pretty damn good over there. It was funny. The Red Sox were like all about making sure that they build the best run prevention unit, and then they traded like arguably their best defensive infielder.
Yeah. Did you see
second base David Hamilton
change up movement? That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yep. And then they also have Drohan, which like he's whatever in this whole trade, but like I know they're going to turn him into something, and that's going to make me upset because I was a big Drohan fan a few years ago. Pain makes me so upset, especially because Craig's track record for these trades is like not great. Like trades exactly like this one.
Yeah.
Because like the John Schreiber trade was like a savvy piece of business to get David Sandlin.
Yeah.
And then who the hell, like, then they used David Sandlin to salary dump Jordan Hicks. I don't even remember who the hell they got. Was it like Gage Zeal was his name?
Yeah.
I'm not even 100% sure he's a real person. Has he appeared in a game this spring? He hasn't.
I don't think so.
He is not. He will be in apparently high A. That's where he's projected to be this upcoming season.
Yeah, I bet he will.
Yeah, without question. Like that was a savvy piece of business that turned into Gage Zeal and like what, $2 million of salary relief. What's Jordan Hicks up to in camp?
At least I never have to watch him throw a pitch in a Red Sox uniform again.
Don't say that too loud. Breslin will bring him back. He's got 6 ERA.
I miss Chaim.
I do too. Did you see Dustin May was throwing 99 the other day?
Yeah.
How's he doing in camp? Dustin May has not allowed a run, but he's only pitched 3 innings. Only made 1 appearance. He's got 1 strikeout, 1 walk.
Could be the Renaissance.
The Renaissance. Oh, man. Any final thoughts regarding the state of the team so far? Did we miss anything? I mean, we haven't really talked a whole lot about the WBC. We've kind of danced around it, but like every single Red Sox, new and old, is having that
Schwarbaum was cool.
He hit the absolute piss out of that baseball. Yu Chang is again having another unreal WBC. I miss him too. I kind of miss Yu Chang.
I shouldn't miss Yu Chang. He wasn't that good.
But it's just he was so bad, but it was like endearing how bad he was.
Yeah, and like at least he could play shortstop compared to Kike, who could not play shortstop for whatever reason. So like at least on a Yu Chang day, you knew like you're not going to see the worst defensive left side of the infield you've ever seen in your life with Kike endeavors.
This is so funny. Like I'm looking at his Yu Chang had 4 outs above average at shortstop in 2023.
Yeah, like he was legitimately good. Innings.
This man had a 40 WRC plus. I miss him so much. You'd think he was a star with how much I miss Yu Chang in a Red Sox uniform. He had a 40 WRC plus, but he hit some bombs.
He had Crank That Soldier Boy as his walk-up music.
He did. He could not hit.
No.
But oh my God, when he made contact.
If it's the WBC, he's Albert Pujols.
He is an animal in the WBC. Like he puts on that Chinese Taipei jersey and he just turns into Mike Trout. It's crazy. Roman's looked good in the WBC so far. Yeah, we haven't mentioned Roman like at all in this episode.
Yeah, what's there to talk about? He's perfect.
He is. He is. Other than almost dying on that fly ball.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have too many outfielders anymore. So he might have been taking one for the team.
It's just so selfless.
Yeah, he wants Nate Eaton on the roster.
Hey, Hey, Nate Eaton had a good September. I could see why he would
Well, Nate
think that
Eaton
he
had like
deserves
an
it.
incredible September.
He did. He hit like 330 in September, and
Yeah, it was
he
like
got a hit in the wild card series, which is
yeah,
something
no,
most
him and
guys on the Red
Massa
Sox
were
can't say.
like their best players down the stretch.
Ridiculous that team made the playoffs. The way that their offense went in September, like the second Roman got hurt, it was like literally Massa, Nate Eaton, and
A dream.
one like one random guy every single game that did something, and then yeah, a dream, and they somehow made the playoffs. They somehow won a playoff game.
Well,
It
that's not somehow. That's Garrett Crochet. But
and Masataka Yoshida,
yeah,
because even despite Crochet's best efforts, I mean, he almost left the game as the pitcher of record in the losing
yeah,
fashion. Thanks to Massa and thanks to Luke Weaver, especially.
yeah. New Met.
Um, New Met, who will absolutely have a phenomenal season for them because it will make Yankees fans
Oh yeah, him
miserable.
and Devin Williams are both gonna like go nuclear for them just to like
Dev
break Yankee fans' brains.
Dev might win NL reliever of the year. Like I really wanted to put like a couple dollars on that just to manifest, but like in this economy, I need those $2, I think.
They could be a big $2.
Could be. Very well could be.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that like, but yeah, with the WBC, I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. I haven't really
Trace
seen.
Thompson robbed a homer.
Yeah, Red Sox legend.
Red Sox spring training legend. Who else? Sadon was hitting a bunch of home runs in the exhibitions. I don't think he's done anything so far in the actual tournament, but that's more or less just Sadon. It's like so high, like supremely high highs and absurdly low lows offensively. Can somebody sign Yu Cheng though? Just
For the
someone.
greater good.
Yeah, what's the problem with having him in AAA? But I can't really think of anybody else in the WBC. I mean, Jaron had a double, I think, the other day. He's not really done a whole lot for Team Mexico.
Him playing right field is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Good luck with that, Team Mexico. But I guess Team Japan is letting Massa have a glove, so like.
Yeah. Massa can do whatever he wants for Team Japan, though. That man is
Massa for Team Japan is actually Barry Bonds. And he's like
he's been ridiculous. He has been ridiculous. I think what was it? Coley tweeted that man is at least 68% pants. He has hit some bombs, and two of them I think are left on left too, which is just Alex Cora wanted to just pass away when he saw that. Craig Breslow too, because he was hoping he could find a way.
Imagine Massa's stats if he was a Yankee.
I don't want to. I know that since he's having a great tournament, there are a lot of people being like, "Oh, well, now the Jurickson Profar did the Jurickson Profar thing again and got suspended."
It's so weird he's still playing in the WBC.
Is he?
Yeah, he's starting at first base for the Netherlands.
I don't think that's Jurickson. I think it's a different Profar. I did the same double take today. I think is that his cousin, Jerdrick Profar? No. Who the hell is the Profar on the Netherlands now? The Netherlands WBC roster. Give me a sec. It is Jeremy.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I didn't watch any of the Netherlands games. I've only seen clips, so I just saw Jay Profar, and I'm like, oh, that's.
I did a double take too because I also my two reactions were, oh, weird that they're letting him still play in the WBC, especially because I read that he like literally fleed, like he got suspended and left without telling anybody. And he pulled a 2020 Yoenis Cespedes and just was like, bye. And then my second thought was, dang, he got fat, because that guy is definitely bigger than Jurickson Profar is. But it was not him. I did this. I had the same thought.
Charlin Scope Jonathan's brother or cousin or something?
I don't know. I do not know. Charlin Scope, baseball player. He looks kind of like him.
Yeah, he does. That's why I'm like, he must be related to Jonathan Scope, right?
He has a Wikipedia. Let's see. Let me see. Yep, his younger bro. He's the older brother of Jonathan Scope.
Oh, then where's Jonathan?
Yeah, what's he up to? How old is this? Charlon Scope is 38. I would have not gotten that by looking at him. He looks like he's in his like early 30s.
Yeah, no, he looks good for his age.
Yeah, he's 38 years old. The more you know. The more you know. The Netherlands got absolutely spanked by the Dominican Republic. I think the DR is going to win the whole thing. That team is ridiculous. Although they're pitching so, but
Yeah, the pitching is shaky, and I think that's something where Japan or the US could just like get across. But I think it's one of those three teams. Anything else would really shock me.
the DR is just they're going to
That
score like
lineup
11.
is
They're going to score like 11 runs a game.
yeah, no, the lineup is stupid. That shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, that's like Rafael Devers isn't even on that roster.
Right.
Crazy. They just don't stop scoring. They literally walked off the Netherlands by way of mercy rule today.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Alrighty. Anything else before we wrap this up? Nice to finally get on the board this camp because we hadn't recorded anything, and that includes the Celtics show because again, my computer can't hang with Riverside, I guess. So we're back on StreamYard. RIP our stream or Riverside era. It was 2026 to 2026.
It was a hell of a 17 minutes though.
No, it was actually it ended up being 30 because Jamie and I got through 13 minutes of the second take. But yeah.
Release the Pritchard cut.
Let me see if I can log in still. Should I? Should I just drop it? I think I should. Let me see. I'm loading it up right now. It's still there. It is still there. Huh. Decisions. I'll just attach it to the end of our first episode post Tatum return. Just be like, and now here's our bonus coverage of 2 weeks ago.
Of just the Golden State game.
Or just Peyton Pritchard discourse. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alrighty. Yeah. I forgot how to wrap up a podcast because
especially that we can't predict. I'm not predicting spring training games. I'm not doing
You don't want to? You don't want to? I don't know when the hell any of the like actual MLB guys are pitching again. I haven't. Yeah. You don't think they're gonna win tomorrow against I don't even know who the hell they're playing. The Phillies.
Your favorite is pitching tonight for Team Mexico, Taijuan Walker.
Oh my God, I just slandered him, so he's gonna go off tonight.
Well, he's facing Brazil, so
who knows? I opened the Red Sox
Bayo starts tomorrow for the Dominican.
Ooh, that'll be fun. Who are they playing?
Israel. More buzzwords.
So that'll do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. Good, episode 548 presented by Beyond the Monster. If you're not following us on Twitter or Instagram, it is at the Pesky Report. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us a comment. Tell us you love us. Tell us you hate us. I don't care. Just tell us. Who knows?
Tell us your thoughts on the DR's opponent tomorrow.
For Jack, I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.